Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to solve Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics Paper 3 Core in a session February-March 2023 Paper 3-2. So let's start with the first question. Question number 1, Part A. The table shows some information about the opening hours of a cafe. The cafe opens 4 days a week. Days, opening time, closing time, and number of hours open. Complete the table. So on Thursday, the cafe open at 8 a.m. and close at 4:30 p.m. We have to find the number of hours open. So 8 a.m. and then we have 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. And then 12, we have 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., and then 4:30. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8.5. Okay. Now for Friday, opening time is 8:30 a.m. We have to find the closing time, and the total number of hours open are 7.5 hours. Okay, so from 8:30 we have to calculate 7.5 hours. 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, and 1:30. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1:30 and then 2:30 and then 3:30. 3:30 and a half, that is 4. So 4 p.m. Saturday, the opening time is given, closing time is given, number of hours open is given. Sunday, we have to find the opening time and the closing time is 3:30 and the hours opens are 5. Okay, so from 3:30 we have to count back 5 hours. Okay, so 3:30 and we have 2:30, 1:30 and 12:30 and then 11:30 and 10:30. So the opening is 10:30 a.m. Now for part B, number 1, a waiter works 29 hours a week in a cafe. Okay, so 29 hours a week. He is paid $9.50 per hour. This is the salary per hour. He is paid for 52 weeks of a year. Work out his total pay for a year. Okay, so 1 week he works 29 hours. 1 hour salary is given, and 1 year he work 52 weeks. So 52 weeks he work, and 1 week 29 hours, and per hour is 9.50. Okay, let me calculate this. So 52 times 29 times 9.50, this is $14,326 per year. Right. Now for the second part, the chef is paid 32% more than the waiter per hour. Work out how much the chef is paid per hour. Per hour salary of waiter is $9.50. Okay, so we have to find it is 32% more than the waiter. Okay, so what is 32% of the waiter, which is 9.50? Right. So we have 32% of waiter salary is 3.04. So this is 3.04. Okay, so we have to work out the chef's, how much chef is paid per hour. So for the chef, we have to add 3.40 into the waiter salary, which is 9.50. Right, so add 9.50, this would be 12.54, $12.54. Right. Now for part C, here is the part of cafe's menu. The menu is cup of coffee, cup of tea, and slice of pizza. Raj buy 2 cups of coffee, 1 cup of tea, and 3 slices of pizza. Calculate the change he received from $20. Okay, so 2 cup of coffees, it means 2 times 2.50 plus 1 cup of tea, which is 2.30, plus 3 slices of pizza, 3 times 3.70. Let me calculate the total first. So this is 2 times 2.50. This is 5 plus $2.30, and 3 times 3.70, which is 11.10. All right. So in this, add 2.30 and then add 5. This would be 18.4. $18.40, right? So from $20, so 20 subtract answer, this is 1.6. So we can find out the change is 20 subtract 18.4, which is $1.06. Now for part D, the chef records the type of spaghettis the cafe sells in one day. Okay, number one, complete the frequency table to show this information. You may use the tally column to help you. Okay, so the type of spaghettis are cheese, egg, and salad, tally, and the frequency we have to find. So let's work on cheese first. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now for egg. Egg is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 are egg. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last is salad, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 11. Now for the second part on the grid, draw a bar chart to show this information. Okay, so we have the frequency and number of spaghettis on the x-axis, right? Now for cheese, we have 7. The frequency of cheese is 7, right? Okay, the frequency of egg is 4. Okay, for egg it's 4. And the last one is salad, which is 11. Salad is 11. Okay, so this is the bar chart. Question number 2. Manjeet asked 20 students whether they prefer joke books, puzzle books, or poetry books. The results are shown in the table: number of books, number of students, and the pie chart sector angle. Number 1, complete the table. So we have to find the pie chart sector angle here. Okay, now for joke, 8 out of 30 students times by the pie chart is 360 degrees. Let me calculate the sector angle. 8 out of 30 times 360, 96 degrees. Now for puzzle, 18 out of 30 students and times 360 degree. Okay, 18 out of 30 times 360, 216 degrees. And the next is poetry, are 4 out of 30 times by 360 degree. 4 over 30 times 360, which is 48 degrees. All right. Now for the second part, complete the pie chart. Now for joke, the pie chart sector angle is 96 degrees. Okay, let me calculate the angle 96 first. Okay, so this angle is 90, this is 100, and 95, and this is 96, right? So this angle is 96 degrees. 96 degrees is for joke. Okay, the next are puzzle books, which are 216 degrees. Okay, so from here, if I can count 216, okay, let me calculate for poetry. 48 degrees. This is 40, 50, and the 2 points, this is 48. Right, this is 48 degrees. This is for poetry, and the rest is 216 degrees. This is for puzzle books. Right. Now for the third part, on one of the student is chosen at random out of 30 students, right? The total students are 30. Find the probability that this student prefers puzzle books. Okay, so the students preferred puzzle books are 18 out of 30, right? So the probability is 18 out of 30. Now for part B, the stamp and leaf diagram shows the test scores for 24 students. Okay, number one, write down the mod. The mod is the most repeated frequency, right? Okay, 5 and 5, 1, 1, 1. Okay, 51 is the most repeated one. So the mod is 51. Now for the second part, 75% of 24 students pass the test. Okay, what is 75% of 24 students who pass the test? So 75% of 24 are 18 students pass the test. All right. Work out the lowest score needed to pass the test. The lowest score. So we have to count the 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 is over here. So 38. So 38 is the lowest score needed to pass the test. Now for number 3, work out the range. The range is the difference between the higher and the lower. The higher number is 67. Subtract the lower is 22. You guys can see the higher is 67 and the lower is 22. Right. So 67 take away 22 is 45. So 45 is the range. Now for part 4, Frankie was absent on the day of the test. His score is not on the stamp and leaf diagram. When he takes the test, his score increased the range by 3 marks. Write down 2 possible values of Frankie's score. The range is increased by 3 marks. So in 45, we have to add 3. So it means the range, the new value of range will be 48. Okay, how can we get 48? Okay, so we can say from 70, if we take away 22. Okay, 70 subtract 22 is 48, right? Or from 22 subtract 3, we can say 67 take away 19. Yes, 67 subtract 19 is also 48. So we have the 2 possible value is 70, or we can say 19. Question number 3, part A, a recipe for making 20 biscuits uses 150 grams of flour and 125 grams butter and 50 grams sugar. Number 1, write the ratio flour, butter, sugar in its simplest form. All right. So we have flour is 150, ratio 125, ratio 50, right? Let me divide all of them by 5. They're all divisible by 5. 150 divides 5 is 30. 125 divides 5 is 25. And 50 divides 5 is 10. Okay, let's divide by 5 one more time. 30 divided by 5 is 6. 25 divides 5 is 5. And 10 divides 5 is 2. So the simplest form is 6 ratio 5 ratio 2. Right. Now for the second part, work out the amount of flour, butter and sugar needed to make 50 biscuits. Okay, this is for 20 biscuits. So for 20 biscuits, we need 150 grams of flour. For one biscuit, we need 150 divides 20 grams of flour, right? So 150 divides 20, this is 7.5. 7.5 grams of flour for one biscuit. And for 50 biscuits, we have to times it by 50, which is 375 grams of flour. Right? Now the same thing we have to do for butter. So for 20 biscuits, we need 125 grams of butter, and for one biscuit we need 125 divides 20. 125 divides 20, which is 6.25. 6.25 grams of butter. And for 50 biscuits, times by 50, which is 312.5. 312.5 grams of butter. And the last thing is the sugar. Okay, let me do the sugar over here. For 20 biscuits, we need 50 grams of sugar, and for one biscuit we need 50 divides 20, which is 50 divides 20, 2.5 grams of sugar. And for 50 biscuits, times it by 50, which is 125 grams of sugar, right? Now for part B, number 1, a recipe for making 1 loaf of bread use 600 grams of flour. 1 loaf of bread, 600 grams of flour. A sack of flour contains 16 kilograms of flour. 1 sack of flour, right? Complete the statement. Let me rewrite this information that 1 loaf of bread use 600 grams of flour. Okay, and 1 sack of flour contain 16 kilograms of flour. So 16 kilograms are basically 16,000 grams, because 1 kilogram is equals to 1,000 grams. So 16 kilograms is 16,000 grams of flour, right? Okay, 1 sack of flour makes a maximum of loaves of bread. Okay, so 1 sack of flour makes how much? The maximum loaves of bread. So 1 sack of flour contains this much flour. Okay, so and 1 loaf can okay, so we can say for 1 we can do 16,000 divides 600. This would be 16,000 divided 600, which is 26.67. So it is 26.67. So the maximum we can say 26 loaves of bread, right? The amount of flour left over is this much grams. Okay, so 26 loaves of bread uses, if 1 loaf use this much grams of flour, so 26 would be 600 grams times 26. 600 times 26, which is 15,600. 15,600 grams of flour is used from the sack, and the leftover is from 16,000. We have to subtract the answer. The 400 grams of flour is left over, right? Now for the second part, the amount of flour in a sack decreased from 16 kilogram to 15 kilogram. Work out the percentage decrease of flour in the sack. Okay, so from 16 to 15, divides the original one and times by 100. This is a way to find the percentage decrease. 16 subtract 16 take away 15 divided by 16 and times by 100 is 6.25%. Okay. Question number 4, part A. Write 6,479 correct to the nearest 100. So the digit at the 100 place is 4 and the next digit is 7, which is more than 5. So we have to add 1 in 4. So this is 6,500. Right. Part B. Write down the multiples of 13 that is between 100 and 110. Okay, so we know that 13 times 10 is 130. So we have to find the multiple between 100 and 110. Okay, 13 times 9 lies in between. No, 13 times 8 is 104. This lies in between. And 13 times 7 is not in the range. Yes. Now for part C, find the reciprocal of 0.6. So what is 0.6? This is 3 by 5. 0.6 is 3 by 5. And the reciprocal of 3 by 5 is 5 by 3. 5 out of 3. Or in the mixed number, we have 1 and 2 by 3. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5. Right. Now for part D, we have to work out 3 plus 4 times 2. Use the board mass here. So first do the product, so which is 3 plus 4 times 2 is 8 and 3 plus 8 makes 11. Right. Now for part E, write down an irrational number with a value between 15 and 20. Irrational number is any square root number between 15 and 20, which is square root of 16 is not an irrational number. Square root of 17 is an irrational number. Square root 16 is 4. Square root of 17, this is an irrational number. Square root of 18 is an irrational number. And square root of 19 is an irrational number, not 20. You can write down any. Square root of 18 is also correct and square root of 19 is also correct. Right. All are irrational numbers. Now for part F, by writing each number in the calculation correct to one significant figure, find an estimate for the value of this. You must show all your working. So one significant figure of 423.8 is 400 minus 78 becomes 80 over 23 becomes 20. Right. So from 400 take away 80 and divide 20, which is 16. Question number 5. The diagram shows 3 triangles A, B, and C on a 1 centimeter square grid. Okay, the triangle A, triangle B, and the triangle C. All right. Okay, now for part A, measure angle C. Okay, we have angle C is over here. Okay, let's measure angle C. So the angle C is, this is 20, 19, 18 degrees angle C. Right. Angle C is 18 degrees. Right. Now for part B, complete these statements using the 2 words from the box. Number 1, angle C is hypotenuse, acute, trigonometric, equilateral, congruent, cosine, isosceles, obtuse, or reflex. So angle C is an acute angle, less than 90 degree, right? Now number 2, triangles A and C are. Okay, you can see the triangle A and the triangle C. These two are the congruent triangles, right? Now for part C, work out the area of triangle A. Give the units of your answer. As the triangles ABC are shown on 1 centimeter square grid, so the unit is obvious, it is centimeter square. Let me work on the area. So the area of a triangle is half base times height. If I consider this the base, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units is the base. So we can say half 6 times the height is 1 and 2. 2 units is the height. Sorry, we can do this as in height. 1, 2, and 3. This is 3. Okay, 6 times 3 divides 2, which is 9. 9 centimeters square is the area of the triangle A. Right. Now for part D, describe fully the single transformation that maps number 1 triangle A onto triangle B. Okay. A onto B, this is obvious. This is an enlargement. We have to find the scale factor of enlargement and the center of enlargement, right? Okay, to find the scale factor, we have to use the formula. The new shape is 1 and 2 units over the original one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. So 2 by 6 is 1 by 3. The scale factor is 1 by 3. Let me work on the center of enlargement by connecting the coordinates, the corresponding coordinates. Okay. This coordinate is also connected with these two. All right. And this one is connecting with this one. So they all passes through the point -4 and 0. So this is the center of enlargement. Right. So the transformation we can say is an enlargement. The scale factor is 1 over 3. And the center of enlargement is -4, 0. Right. Now for second part, triangle A onto triangle C. A onto C. So you can see A onto C. This is a rotation. And we have to find the center of rotation and the orientation of rotation. Because we can see this length of triangle A would be this length of triangle C. So from this point, if we do the rotation, so it rotate like this. So it is 180 degree, and the center of rotation is 2, 0. Right. This is the center. So let me rewrite. Triangle A is mapped onto triangle C by a rotation 180 degree about the center, which is 2, 0. Right. Now for part E, on the grid, draw the image of number 1 triangle A after a translation by the vector 3, -10. So 3 is the horizontal translation and -10 is the vertical translation. So we have to move 3 units to the right and 10 units down. Okay, so triangle A, if I start with this point, we have to move 3 units to the right, 1, 2, and 3, and 10 units down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can see the new point is 5 and -10, right? Okay, let me work on this now. This coordinate 3 units, 1, 2, 3 right and 10 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 8 minus 1, right? Now for this 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. This point is 5 and -4. Let me connect all the points to get the new triangle A. All right. This is my new triangle A. Now for the second part, triangle A after a reflection in a line x equals to 4. Right. X equals to 4. Let me draw the straight line along x equals to 4. This is a line x equals to 4. And we have to reflect the triangle along this line. All right. Okay. So this point is, the distance is 2 units. So the new would be 2 units. This point is 6, 0, right? Okay. So the distance is 2 units and the 2 units is, we have 6, 6. And this point is over here, 1 unit. So we can find 3, 9. All right. This is triangle A after reflection in a line x equals to 4, right? I hope this is clear now. Question number 6, part A, find the equation of line L in the form y equals to mx plus c, right? So the equation of line L we have to find. So first we have to find out the slope. For the slope we need 2 points. The first point we have is 0 and 7. All right. And the next point we can say this is a point 3 and -2. So -2 and 3. Right. Let me work on the slope, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. y2 minus y1 is 3 minus 7 over -2 minus 0. 3 take away 7 is 4. -4 over -2, which would be 2. Right. So the slope is 2. So we have a line y equals to 2x and plus c. C is the y-intercept. Y-intercept is 7 plus 7. So 2x plus 7 is the equation of line. The y-intercept is 7, you can see. Now for part B, write down the coordinates of the point where the line L crossed the x-axis. All right. The line L is y equals to 2x plus 7. When it crossed the x-axis, the y coordinate is equals to 0 and we have to solve for the x coordinate, right? So this would be 0 equals to 2x plus 7, right? Let me solve for x. So 2x would be equals to -7 and from here x would be equals to -7 by 2. So I guess this is 3.5. Let me double check. -7 over 2, which is 3.5. Yes, -3.5 is the x-intercept. Now for part C, number 1, complete the table of values for y equals to x square plus 5x plus 3. Okay, so when the x is -5, we have to solve for y. Okay, x is -5. So we can say -5, it's square, and plus 5 times -5 and plus 3. This is 3. When it is -3, let me change over here. It's -3 and -3. It's -3 minus 3. The value when x is -2 and -2. It's again -3. The value when it is 0, so 0, 0, it's just +3. And the value when it is 1, 1, 1, it's 9, right? Now for the second part on the grid, draw the graph of the parabola for x's between -6 to 1. Okay, that is easy. When for -6, the y is 9. For minus 6, this is minus 6. The y value is 9 over here. Minus 5, it's 3. Minus 5, the value is 3. Okay, this is 3. And this is negative 5, yes. Minus 4, it's negative 1. Minus 4, it's negative 1 downward. Negative 1. For negative 3, it's negative 3. For minus 3, this is minus 3 also. Right. For minus 2, it's also negative 3. At minus 2, it's negative 3 again. And for minus 1, it's minus 1. Minus 1, minus 1. 0, it's 3. When x is 0, y is 3. When x is 1, y is 9. This point. Let me connect all the points to get the smooth curve now. All the green ones. Okay. This looks like the shape of the parabola. Now for part D, number 1, on the grid, draw the line y equals to 6. Okay. Y equals to 6 is the horizontal line. This is the line y equals to 6, right? Okay, now for the second part, use your graph to solve the equation. Basically, we have to find out the solution by using the graph when the parabola is intersect the line y equals to 6. So it intersect the line at this point first. And this point is 2, 4, 6 minus 5.6. Right? And at this point, this point is 0 0.2, 4, 0 0.5. Right. So we have the two solutions, which are 0 0.5 and negative 5.6. Right. Question number 7. The scale drawing shows the position of 3 towns R, S, and T on the map R, S, T. R, S, R to S, and S to T are straight roads between the towns. Okay, the scale is 1 centimeter represents 8 kilometer, right? So scale we have given is 1 centimeter to 8 kilometer, right? Now for part A, work out the actual distance between R and S. Let me find out the distance between R and S in terms of centimeters first. So this distance is 6 centimeters from R to S. This is 6 centimeter, and we have to find the actual distance in terms of kilometers, right? And we have given the scale is 1 centimeter to 8 kilometer. So if 1 centimeter according to the scale represent 8 kilometer, so what about 6 centimeter, which is 6 times 8, 48 kilometer. So this is 48, right? Now for part B, another town V is on the bearing of 163 from R and on the bearing of 216 from T. Mark the position of V on the map, R and T. So this is R and this is T, and the town V is on the bearing of 163 degree from R. So from R, it is 163. Okay, so 163 from R. So from R, let me mark 163. So from the north line, this is 160, 1, 2, 3, this is 163 from R, and from T is it is on the bearing of 215 from T. So 215, it means from 360 we have to subtract 215, right? So 360 minus 215, this is 145 degrees. We have to calculate 145 from T. Okay, so sorry, let me do 145. From the north line, it should be straight. This is 140, this is 150, and the middle is 145, this point, right? Let me connect these two lines to get the position of town V. Okay, let me extend the lines, right? And from T passing through this point, right? So this is a position of village V, the town V, sorry. Now for part C, a man cycles at a constant speed of 24 km per hour. This is the speed we have given along the straight road from S to T. S to T, okay. After 1 hour and 50 minutes, he stops at a cafe C. At a cafe C, he stops, right? Mark the position of C on the map. You must show all your working. So here we have given the speed and we have given the time. Okay, so time is 1 hour and 50 minutes. So let me convert this 50 minutes into hours. So 50 divides 60. This is 5 over 6 hours. Okay, and the total time is, you can say the total time. This is 1 hour and 5 over 6 hour. So this would be 5 by 6 plus 1 is 11 over 6 hour, right? Now let me simplify this. We have the formula of speed, which is distance over time, and to find out the distance we have to do speed into time, right? The speed we have given is 24 km per hour, multiply by the time is 11 over 6 hour, right? Hours is cancelled with hour, so 11 over 6 is multiplying by 24, which is 4.44 km, right? We have to find mark the position in terms of centimeters. According to the scale, we have given that 1 centimeter is 8 km and 1 over 8 centimeter is 1 km. And what is 44 km? 44 km is 44 out of 8 is 5.5 centimeters. So let me mark the cafe C, which is 5.5 centimeter from S to T. Okay, 5.5 centimeters. This is centimeters, 8 centimeter, 5.5. Here is cafe C. This is 5.5 centimeters, right? Now for part D, a hotel H is on the bearing of 321 from R. Work out the bearing of R from H. From R, it is 321. So here we have R. Okay, so if we can subtract 180 from 321, right? So 321 take away 180. Let me calculate the angle. 321 subtract 180. This is 141. Okay, let me find the hotel H. Where is the location of hotel H? So this straight line the vertical line, the north line, this is 180, right? So let me find 141. Okay, the position of 141 is over here. You guys can see there is a position of 141, right? So here is the hotel H, right? So from the north line to this hole is 321. This angle is 321, right? Now we have to find the bearing of R from H. So from H, it means from the north line, this is a north line of H, north line to R, this angle we have to calculate, right? So this bearing is 141, right? So the bearing we have is 141. You can easily see. Right, now for part E, write the scale 1 centimeter to 8 kilometer in the form 1:n. So that is easy. We know that 1 centimeter is equals to 100,000 kilometer. Sorry, 1 kilometer. Right, sorry, messed up. 1 kilometer is equals to 100,000 centimeters. So 8 kilometer is equals to 800,000 centimeters, right? So 1 centimeter, this is also in centimeter, this is 800,000, right? Question number 8, part A. Number 1, write down the order of rotational symmetry of the diagram. Okay, so if this is the point, if I rotate the shape, the order of rotational symmetry is just 2, and twice it stays the same, right? Now for the second part, on the diagram, draw all lines of symmetry. So this, it has a vertical line of symmetry, both the sides are identical. It has the horizontal line of symmetry, so we have to draw, sorry. Okay, this is the vertical line of symmetry and the horizontal line of symmetry. So there are 2 lines of symmetries. Now for part B, the grid shows the first 3 diagrams in a sequence. Each diagram is made using small gray and small white squares to make gray and white columns. All right. The diagram 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 1 on the grid, draw diagram 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is increased, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 this time, and the gap is 2. The gap is 2, right? Okay, this is gonna be the gray one. Let me shade this one. And we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And this one is also the gray one. Let me shade, color it. Consider that it's a gray one. Right. And the middle lines. Okay, so there is no black line. So there is 1 line, 2 lines. Now we have 3 black lines here. This would be 1, this would be 2, and that would be 3. This is the complete diagram 4. Now for the second part, part A, complete this statement. Diagram N has how many gray columns, right? So you can see from diagram 1, it has 2 gray columns. Diagram 2 has 2, diagram 3 has 2, diagram 4 has 2. So diagram N has also 2 gray columns, right? Now for part B, find an expression in terms of N for the total number of columns in diagram N. For diagram 1, there are 3 columns. For diagram 2, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. right? And for diagram 3, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. And here we have 6 columns. Okay, so the pattern is for 1, it is 3. Okay, so adding 2 each time, right? So we can say n plus 2. So for n, this is n plus 2. Now for part C, find an expression in terms of n for the fraction of columns that are gray in diagram n. How many are gray for n? 2 are gray out of n plus 2. That is a fraction. Now for part 3, the diagram number of gray squares, number of white squares, total number of squares. Okay, now for part A, complete the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, the number of gray squares. Okay, how many gray squares are 6, then 8, then 10? So I guess adding 2 each time. So in 10, adding 2 is 12, and then in 12, adding 2 is 14, right? Number of white squares are 3, 8, and 15. Okay, the pattern is 3, 8, and 15. Let me check. So 8 minus 3 is 5, and 15 minus 8 is 7. Okay. The next is, first difference is 5, the next difference is 7, and then next would be 9, right? So in 15, adding 9, this would be 24. So 3, 5, 9, and the next difference would be 11. So in 24, add 11, that would be 35, right? Total number of squares. Okay, 9, 16. Okay, just adding 9, 16. 6 plus 3 makes 9, 8 plus 8 is 16, 10 plus 15 is 25, 12 plus 24 is 36, and 14 plus 35 is 49. Okay, the table is completed. Part B, write an expression in terms of n for the number of gray squares in diagram n. The diagram n, the number of gray squares. Okay, adding 2 each time. We have the expression. For the first, we have 6. Okay, and then adding 2 each time. So we can say in 1, we add 2. So the nth term is, since it is adding 2, so we have 2n plus something. So 2 times 1 is 2, plus 4 makes 6. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 4 is 8. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. Yes, the pattern is correct. Now for part C, the number of white squares in diagram n is n into n plus 2. All right, work out the number of white squares in diagram 30. So for 30, that is easy. 30 into 30 plus 2, 960. Right. Now for part D, diagram K has a total of 1296 squares. Work out the value of K. Okay, so here we can say the nth has a formula 2n plus 4, and here the nth has a formula n into n plus 2. This is the formula for the nth diagram, right? Now the total is the sum of both, and we can say 2n plus 4, and it's sum with n into n plus 2, and this would be equals to 1296. So this is basically the kth diagram. Let me simplify this in terms of k. So let me take 2 common. Let me take n as k plus 2, and this is k, and this is also k plus 2. This is 1296. Let me take k plus 2 common from here, and we are left with 2 plus k. This is 1296. This is basically k plus 2 whole square, 1296, right? Now let me do square roots on both sides. Square root of 1296 is 36. So k plus 2, this would be equals to 36, and k is 36, take away 2, which is 34. So the diagram K is basically 34. Question number 9, part A. Write down an expression for the area of this rectangle. Give your answer in its simplest form. Area of a rectangle is length times width. So the length is 2y times the width is 3y, and 2 times 3 is 6y square. Right. This is the formula for area of a rectangle. Now for part B, in this part all measurements are in centimeters. Alright, the parameter of the rectangle is 526 centimeter. Find the value of x. The parameter of rectangle is sum of all sides. So let me add all the sides. 3x minus 10, adding with x plus 70, adding with 4x minus 50, and this would be equals to 526. Right. So 3x plus x plus 4x. So this would be 3 plus 1 plus 4. This would be 8x. And we have negative 10, positive 70, and negative 50 is positive 10. Plus 10, 526. 8x is equals to 526. Take away 10. 526 take away 10 is 516. 8x equals to 516. Right, so what is x? Divides 8. Sorry, this is 64.5. So the x value is 64.5. Okay, that was the last question of our paper. If you have any queries, please let me know in the comment section, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care.